The Bulldog Television Network presents College Football 82. Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Hertz Buy a Car. More people buy cars from Hertz than from anyone else in the world. And by Levi Garrett Chewing Tobacco. And by Life of Georgia Insurance. From Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. Hello again, everybody. This is Bill Hartman welcoming you to the Georgia Brigham Young football game. With me today is the man we had with us last year on the color commentary, Butch Clifton. Butch, welcome back for another year.
Looking forward to it, Bill.
All right, we have a new addition. This year, Buck Bellew, number 8 for the Bulldogs on the national championship team, and then again in his senior year last year, he will be joining us with a color commentary. Buck, welcome to the team.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Buck, Brigham Young, quarterback, wearing number 8, as a matter of fact. Steve Young is fast, plus he can pass that football.
Well, I feel like there's two keys going in from Brigham Young today in today's game. Number one is how well their offensive line protects Steve Young. If they give him enough time to pass, he can do quite a bit of damage in the Georgia secondary. And I feel like the second thing is how well Brigham Young's defense controls Georgia's ground control offense. If they allow Georgia to stay on the field and eat up yardage and eat the clock, then it's going to limit the time that Brigham Young's offense is going to be on the field. So if they do these two things, they'll have a good chance of winning for the second week in a row on the road.
Okay, Butch Clifton, the Georgia Bulldogs won their opener just a few days ago against Clemson.
Well, of course, Georgia comes off of a very emotional and physical game against Clemson on Monday night, and now with just 3 days of preparation, they have to prepare for a totally different team, a team that relies on the pass in Brigham Young. And of course, Brigham Young led the nation in passing 5 out of the last 6 years. So I think it's essential for Georgia to have a good ball control day and keep the ball out of the hands of Steve Young, the fine quarterback from Brigham Young.
Okay, we will be back with the start of today's game right after this. About to kick off. Lee Johnson will put it underway for the Cougars. Back deep to receive for the Dogs is number 8, Tony Flack, only a freshman, and number 17 back there for the Dogs is Darrell Jones. The kick to Flack, but way out of the end zone, and the Dogs will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Buck Bellew with us here today. Buck, you start from the 20 on a day like today where there's been a little wetness around the field. What do you think? Is Georgia going to come out with Herschel right away?
Well, that's probably going to be their game plan when the out formation. Georgia's got to get something established on the ground, and Herschel's going to be the man they go to.
John Lastinger, the quarterback, number 12, the fullback, Scott Williams, the tailback, Herschel Walker. The pitch to Walker. Walker gets maybe 4 yards before Kyle Morrow and Tom Holmo make the stop. Walker gets 4. Butch Clifton with us today. Butch, the Brigham Young defense, I'm sure, has spent the last 10 days trying to work against somebody that would run like Herschel Walker during practice.
Well, they've got to stop the run and invite the pass, so we'll look for that early, Bill.
It is 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Walker knocked for about a 2-yard loss. Morrow making the stop, number 5, along with Todd Shell, number 47, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Georgia has 2 tight ends in the game now, Norris Brown and Clarence Kay, going with a power attack, but both of them are fine receivers, and we'll probably be looking for one of them right here.
All right, that was Buck Bellew, who, of course, quarterbacked the Dogs the last 2 years. Lastinger's pass is incomplete, intended for Chuck Jones around the 35-yard line.
Pass intended for number 1, Chuck Jones, incomplete.
That will bring up a 4th and about 6 yards to go for Georgia.
Brigham Young was led on the pass rush by Brandon Flint, number 99. He's 6'3", 241 pounds, a junior from Layton, Utah.
Jim Broadway will be in to punt, back deep. for Brigham Young is Greg Peterson. There you see him standing around his own 37-yard line.
Peterson deep for BYU. In Broadway, the Georgia.
Broadway's punt not particularly long, down at the 40-yard line by Peterson, and the Cougars will take over with good field position.
No return.
Buck Bellew, how important is it to do well in that first series? The Dogs did not, but how important is it to do that?
Well, I think it's more important to staying away from the turnovers early in the game. Brigham Young is definitely that's probably on their mind. They got good field position. They're definitely going to have to do something to get something going here with good field position. They have a great opportunity to get on the board early.
Steve Young led his team to a 27-0 victory over the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. First play, passing, Young. Incomplete, intended for number 84, Kirk Pendleton.
Young's pass intended for Pendleton.
That was Tony Flack, number 8, the freshman, depending on the play. And Brigham Young, with that air attack they have made famous over the past, 10 years or so, came out right away. Second down, 10 yards to go from the 40. This is Young. The pass is complete for number 95, Gordon Hudson. Complete for a 12-yard pickup and the first down for Brigham Young.
Of course, Hudson's the preseason All-American candidate, 6'3½", 228 pounds, from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Take a look at him, Buck. Number 8 running the attack.
Well, Hudson's an excellent receiver. He's got terrific hands, as you see there. Makes a tough catch in a crowd.
First and 10, Brigham Young at the Georgia 48-yard line. Early first quarter. Young, the left-hander, complete at the 42. Pendleton, the receiver, number 84. They picked up about 6, maybe 7 yards on the play as Young completes another one. Buck, is it difficult to defend against a left-handed passer?
I really don't think it makes any difference. They might be going to the left side a little more often since he is left-handed, but that was an excellent call on first down. They're coming underneath the linebackers and picked up, 5, 6 yards.
Second down, and let's call it 5 yards to go. Pass is complete for a first down to Neil Ballholm.
Pass is complete to Ballholm.
Ballholm taking the pass for another Brigham Young first down.
Of course, Ballholm was a walk-on for the junior varsity squad in 1979. He was redshirted in 80, and he was a starter in 81. He comes from Vancouver, Washington, 6'2", 180-pound senior.
That Georgia defensive backfield getting tested early. First and 10 at the 37 of Georgia. BYU on the move. Young looking over the middle, and a flag on the play. Pass intended for Gordon Hudson. Jeff Sanchez of the Dogs is going to be called for pass interference. That was like a hockey player. He's going in for the goal, and about all you can do is hold him back, because Young had him up the middle deep if Sanchez had not pulled him down.
Georgia had come in with a man-to-man defense on that play, trying to apply a little more pressure to Young. And Sanchez was on the tight end one-on-one and just let him get behind him and lost sight of the ball. And you're in trouble at DB when you lose sight of the ball.
And it gives Brigham Young first and 10 at the 26. Young, deep, and it's knocked down by Tony Flack at the 5-yard line. Buck Bellew, Flack is wearing number 8, your old number, and tell us what he does here.
Flack made an outstanding play. As you see, they went with a tight end on the post corner, And for a second, it looked like he was there, and the pass was there, but Flack just comes out with an outstanding play and almost came up with an interception.
Tony Flack, the freshman, and it is second down. Jeff Sanchez.
Number 31, Jeff Sanchez.
Yes, he did. Excellent play by Sanchez, and Georgia's got the ball at the 34, and Lastinger's looking. Now keeps, and it gets down to about the 28-yard line. Lastinger, Buck, not a bad running quarterback.
No, he isn't. On that play, he had a 7-8-yard out, which was open, but it's up to the quarterback. He picked up a good gain on first down, and now with 2nd and 5, you can do a lot of things.
Of course, we see the ever-present Brendan Flynn at 6'3", 241, making the stop for BYU.
Barry Young is the fullback. They give to Herschel Walker the tailback, and he's down to the 24. Hanson and Morrill making the stop. But Herschel gets down to the 24, and let's see where they mark it. It's going to be close to the first down. Herschel Walker gained only 20 yards last Monday night against Clemson on 11 carries. Already he's got 9 yards and 4 carries in this game, and he's awfully close to the first down. Butch Clifton, though, the 20 yards is not indicative of Herschel Walker's running because he really did not practice because of that broken thumb.
Well, anytime you're out of practice for 2 to 3 weeks, you lose your sense of timing. Your conditioning is not at a peak level. It's just hard to perform, especially when you're going against the previous national champions. And Buck will tell you, Clemson had one of the great defenses last year in the country. They gave up 8.8 points per game, and just they returned intact. They're big, strong, physical, and they gave John Lastinger a hard time. But as soon as Herschel came into the game last week, they gave a little head fake, used him as a decoy, ran the reverse, and Tron Jackson was able to score. Took a lot of pressure off, and you could tell that the Georgia team felt his presence.
It was short of the first down, 3rd and less than a yard for Georgia. Just shy of the 24-yard line in Brigham Young territory. There you see the cast, a soft cast on the broken right thumb. And Georgia has picked up the first down as Lastinger gains about a yard, maybe more. That's Georgia's first down of the game. Brigham Young already has 6.
Well, the turnover and the big play on defense has given Georgia outstanding field position, and at this time they really need to take advantage of it and punch it in.
John Lastinger. Barry Young is the fullback. Herschel Walker the tailback. And they give to Walker. He's at the 20. Out of bounds at the 15. Walker out of bounds at the 15, a gain of about 8 yards on the play.
And of course, Kyle Morrell at 6'1", 168 was at quite a disadvantage going against Herschel at 6'1", 222.
To Walker. Walker's close to the first down. I believe he has it at the 12. He's picked up 18 yards now and 6 carries. Into the game, number 20 for the Dogs is Tron Jackson. Kevin Harris. Kevin Harris into the game as the Dogs have a 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line of Brigham Young. 6 minutes, 16 seconds left in the first quarter. And the handoff to Young, and he's got the touchdown. Barry Young goes 12 yards for the score. Buck, watch it again.
The fullback up the middle off tackle, and Barry Young did a great job. He's got good strength, and he weighs 230, 240 pounds. In fact, he's Herschel's roommate, and they make a good combination in the backfield.
Georgia on top 6-0, and Kevin Butler to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 6 minutes and 1 second left in the first quarter, Georgia has broken out on top of Brigham Young by the score of 7-0. First quarter, 7-0. Butler. Butler's kick is taken in the end zone and will be down by Tiamalu. At that point, Brigham Young comes out. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. There has been only one rush by Brigham Young, and that was Tiamalu, who ran 15 yards. But other than that, it's been nothing but passes. Brigham Young, the best passing team in the NCAA for the last 5 or 6 years. Barry Young, number 38. A good man, and Buck, as you said, he's Herschel Walker's roommate, and he's got to be happy that he's the one that scored the touchdown. Brigham Young, 1st and 10 at the 20. Young, the quarterback, swings it out to Tiamalu, and he's caught after a 2-yard gain.
Tiamalu did not start against the University of Nevada, Las Vegas last week. He was backing up Wayman Hamilton, who had a good game rushing, but he was injured. So Tiamalu gets his first opportunity to start for BYU.
Will Forch leading the Georgia tacklers. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Young, 7 of 11 for 56 yards. Take a look at the
Offensive line.
Georgia offensive line huddle as John Casey is talking it over with his troops. But back to the action. It's 2nd down and 8 yards to go. The fake. Young looking.
A lot of time.
He's got 4.5 speed, and he's got the 1st down and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It's a lot of time, Buck.
Oh, he's got too much time. If Georgia expects to step in and stop BYU, they're going to have to put some kind of pressure on Steve Young. He's got so much time back there. And when you have that much time to throw, you're going to pick up an open receiver, or as you just saw there, pick up a lot of yards on the ground.
1st and 10, BYU just over the 31-yard line. Young goes 9 yards. Only the 2nd rush by the Y. Young, markers on the play as Young throws up the middle, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Tim Bobo, number 32, but there's a marker on the play. Let's see, as you take a look at the quarterback, Young, is it against Brigham Young University, and Georgia will take over at the 47. But before the game, Tony Flack, in a newspaper story, said that he thought that Georgia could intercept 2 or 3 passes off Young.
Well, they're going to have a lot of opportunities, and Tim Bobo, the extra defensive back Georgia has in on this play, makes a terrific interception here. In fact, he used to be a receiver in high school and played tight end at Georgia for a couple of years, so he's got great hands, as you just saw.
Lastinger brings it up. 1st and 10, Georgia. Lastinger back to pass. Looking, and it is intercepted at the 40. Brigham Young, big interception, and number 46, Olmo, goes all the way in for the touchdown. Tom Olmo. Olmo goes 60 yards with the interception, and we were talking about interceptions, and lightning struck. The Cougars get a touchdown. Watch it again.
It's just a simple time route, really. Timed out, sticks it out there, but Tomo just makes an outstanding play. Read the play and stepped in, and immediately stepped in front of the receiver, and just it was nothing but green for him all the way. We got the Georgia center making a desperation and tackle here, but it was an outstanding play on Tomo's part.
He goes all the way in, 60 yards for the touchdown. The extra point is kicked up and good by Gunther, and we got a tie game. Georgia 7, Brigham Young 7. Tony Flack, number 8, the freshman, is back to receive the kickoff from Gunther. Rather, they kick Lee Johnson, not Gunther. They have a different man for the kickoffs, and that is Lee Johnson. Georgia, Brigham Young, 7-7, 4:44 left first quarter. The Dogs about a touchdown favorite coming into the game. Georgia ranked 6th in the nation. Brigham Young ranked 19th. Flack and Jones back deep to receive Johnson's kickoff. And it goes to Flack. 1 yard deep into the end zone, and he's out to the 15. Flack to the 23. White making the stop on Tony Flack as he returns it out to the 24-yard line. Georgia takes over 1st and 10. Lastinger, the quarterback for Georgia, in there with Scott Williams at fullback, and Herschel Walker, or rather Carney Norris is in. Carney Norris in at tailback now for Georgia. A new tailback. They give to Williams. Scott Williams carries. What do you think, Buck? Why not Herschel?
Well, Bill, Carney Norris is an outstanding back, and he deserves to play. He's been practicing, and he's done the job when he stepped in before when Herschel's been on the sideline. But I'll tell you, Bill, we've had a switch in momentum here. Georgia had the momentum on the touchdown, and now Brigham Young came back, and they've got the momentum now. So we've had a little switch there.
Now the pitch to Carney Norris, and he's out to the 36, 37-yard line. First down, Georgia. Morrill making the stop on Carney Norris, who showed that good speed. Georgia 1st and 10 at the 36. 3 minutes, 59 seconds left in the first quarter.
Of course, Morrell is an old quarterback, and that seems to be their philosophy. In their press guide, they listed all the quarterbacks who are playing other positions, and they've got a pot full of them.
As you see, John Lastinger. And he hands off to Norris again. And he's up close to the 40.
Norris again, ball carrier to the 40-yard line.
Pugh making the stop.
Second down, 6.
A-U-P-I-U.
Hanson made the tackle.
Hanson also making the stop. 3-yard pickup on the play. Second down and about 7 yards to go. Lastinger. And he gives to Norris. He's at the 40, up to the 45-yard line. About a yard and a half short of the first down. Michael Neal, the linebacker, coming up to make the stop on Carney Norris.
It'll be third down.
Well, Georgia's offensive line seems to be getting some cracks in BYU's 4-3 defensive alignment. Of course, like we talked about at the start of the show, if Georgia can exhibit some ball control, they can keep the ball out of the hands of Young, and so far he's been very, very good.
Third down and about a yard and a half of the first. They send Williams in motion and pitch it to Norris, and Norris has the first down at the 49-yard line.
Came within an eyelash of breaking that one. Had a big hole. It's a good call. Brigham Young was stacking it up the middle, and the sweep was a very good call.
5 carries, 21 yards for Carney Norris.
That's a real fine tackle by Kevin Walker, number 14 from BYU. He's a 2-year letter winner. He was married in August of '79, and he joins 11 other BYU players who have fallen to the married ranks.
1st and 10 Dogs at the 49. Norris. And he's stacked up after a yard, maybe 2, as he goes into BYU territory. Walker back into the game. Pugh making the stop. Holmo also in on the stop. They give him 3 yards, call it second down and 7. Walker back into the ball game.
Also, Tron Jackson, the wide receivers in, so they're just going with a 1 tight end set and 2 wide receivers. They've been going with 2 tight ends.
Chuck Jones is the other one. They line Tron Jackson in the slot. And they give it to Jackson on the reverse. Fumble. And he's knocked down for a big loss at the 39-yard line. Well, they tried to work the play. Basically, they worked against Clemson with a penalty last Monday night, but it didn't work out very well.
Very similar. Taking the lead up the middle. Have the slot, Tron Jackson coming around. Just,
bad exchange,
Couldn't really see it, but...
Third down, 19.
Well, it puts Georgia in a little bit of a hole there now. 3rd and 20, Bill, and of course, obvious passing down.
All right, Lastinger. John Lastinger looking now. He's going to run the football, and he's going to be caught at his own 42-yard line by Todd Shell, the linebacker. That'll bring up a kicking situation. Greg Peterson goes back deep for Brigham Young. Jim Broadway in to punt, his 3rd punt of the day.
Todd Shell, BYU's linebacker that just made the tackle, a very versatile athlete. He high jumped 6'10" in high school.
Peterson back around the 15-yard line as you look at Broadway ready to set it up at the 27. End over end. Peterson calling for the fair catch at the 21-yard line.
Fair catch at the 21-yard line by Peterson.
Just about 8 seconds left in the first quarter as Brigham Young takes over 1st and 10 at their own 21. BYU came out throwing the football. Georgia managed to stop that, but then an interception by Holmo, and Brigham Young put 7 points on the board as he went 60 yards with the interception. Lavelle Edwards, the coach at BYU. You want to throw the football, go there. Now this is Young giving off to number 20, Tiamalu. Good run. He picked up maybe 10 yards, may have the first down. Watch it again. Tiamalu threads his way, Buck.
It's strictly a draw play. Second time they've given it to Tiamalu on the draw, and both times he's picked up big yardage. And right here shows great.
He's like Robert Newsom with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, he's 5'9", 200 pounds, got a low center of gravity, and really hard to knock off his feet.
And he gained 10 yards on that play. It'll be a first down, Brigham Young. That's the end of the first quarter. Georgia 7, Brigham Young 7. Georgia 7, Brigham Young 7. The Cougars have the ball at their own 32-yard line. Young is the quarterback for Brigham Young, and he has thrown the ball well. And he directs the attack. He's going to throw again. Left-handed, of course. And he's got Tiamalu at the 40, up to the 45, the 47. Casey Tiamalu. But there's a marker on the play. Tiamalu had plenty for the first down.
Bill, when you get to talking about BYU's quarterbacks, they've got a headline in their press guide that I read yesterday. It said simply, no blue chippers at the quarterback spot, just All-Americans. And then they go on to mention that last year's All-American Jim McMahon wanted to attend Notre Dame, and Gifford Nelson attended leaned toward basketball, and Mark Wilson came to play baseball.
That's John Casey talking to Brown and Radloff, the offensive line. John Casey, an assistant line coach for the Dogs. And back to the action. You see the penalty was against Georgia. Brigham Young declined, and Tiamalu's gain up to the 49 will be a 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Young now 8 out of 13 for 81 yards and 1 interception. 1st and 10, Brigham Young, just on their side of the 50. Quick pass to Hudson, and it's incomplete. Broken up around the 47-yard line by Sanchez.
Georgia had a blitz on that time, Buck. They got to him real quick and forced him to throw it before Hudson was ready.
Well, they got to put pressure on him. There's no doubt about it. In that situation, they got to go man-to-man in the secondary. And that's the only way Sanchez was able to get there in time.
In the Georgia defense, Stan Dooley is in for Freddie Gilbert. At this point, that's just about what they did in the Clemson game. They had Dooley and Gilbert in and out. Gilbert a little bit hurt. Georgia now with 5 defensive backs as Darrell Jones has come into the game with a 2nd down and 10 yards to go as BYU calls timeout. Butch, you know, you say that you bring in the 5th defensive back. when they are in a passing situation, but Brigham Young out of Clare is in a passing situation every time they come up for the snap.
So more than likely, you're going to see the fifth defensive back the majority of the afternoon when Georgia's on defense. And, of course, they've got to do that. And like Buck said, you've got to get the pressure applied to Young, and then you've got to go with a lot of man-to-man coverage. You could get burned, but then again, you can throw him for a lot of quarterback sacks.
Also, Young is throwing a lot of short routes, which is very hard to get to the quarterback on a 3-5 step drop, and very high percentage passes. And Georgia's secondary is getting a really deep drop, and it's enabled him to hit the short patterns.
You know, in their press guide, they were talking about the fact that their offensive line is very similar to a pro offensive line, where a lot of the collegiate teams work on rush blocking or running blocking. They work on the drop back pass blocking, and they're very hard to penetrate.
Vince Dooley looking on as Young comes into the ball game. Brigham Young has run 17 offensive plays. 14 of those have been passes. At this rate, that'll be about 60 passes for Brigham Young in this game at the current rate. It is 2nd down and 10. Georgia still with the 5th defensive back in the game. They send a man in motion. Young with plenty of time, and he's going deep, and it's going to be intercepted by Terry Hogue at the 8. Hogue intercepts at the 8-yard line. Bucky was like an outfielder. There goes Herschel. Herschel down to the 37.
It's amazing how much strength Walker has. You see people bouncing off of him.
Well, that's the second play in a row that number 19, Peterson, has had an opportunity to introduce himself to Herschel, and I'm sure at this point he hopes they don't have to shake hands again the rest of the day.
9 carries, 43 yards for Walker. He gained 7 on that one. 2nd down and 3 for the Dogs at the 37. Brown in motion, and they give to Barry Young for maybe a yard.
2 tight ends again, wasn't it, Buck?
Yeah, they put Brown in motion. He's, like I said, got a lot of speed, more speed than a lot of tight ends. And he's the type of player that can get deep, and they can use him in that type of situation, getting him outside and operating him on with the defensive backs.
Mike O'Neill, the linebacker, leading the charge for Brigham Young, and it's 3rd down and 1.
O'Neill's majoring in sports medicine. He's a 6'2", 219-pound senior linebacker.
3rd down and a yard. And they give to Walker. He's got the 1st down, and he's got to the 26. Walker
got a big hole. Let's see it again. Straight lead, pull back on the linebacker, an excellent block by Barry Young, and the left side of the offensive line has been doing a great job.
That's Greg Peterson leading the way again for Brigham Young.
Well, the last 2 shots we've had on the sideline, Coach John Casey with the offensive line and Coach Gibbs has spent a lot of time making adjustments in their defense, and of course they're now picking some holes for Walker.
Herschel down to the 24. Holmo leading the tacklers on Walker as he picked up about 2 yards down to the 25-yard line. Herschel Walker 55 yards in 11 carries. And to give to Barry Young, and he goes down to the 15, down to the 14 to 13-yard line. John Mannion making the stop on Barry Young.
Had another big hole up the middle.
Yeah, Mike Weaver 63 and Radloff 55, Jimmy Harper 75, and James Brown 65. Really doing a good job in the offensive line for Georgia at this stage.
Yeah, these guys have played together for a couple of years, and they're really molding into probably one of Georgia's better offensive lines.
1st and 10 at the 13. 7-7 tie. They pitch to Walker. And he's stacked up. Fumble on the play. Brigham Young has recovered the football. Brigham Young has recovered the football at about the 12-yard line.
Came up with a loose ball. But as you can hear, the fans are really applauding. They appreciate the offensive effort, and Georgia took the ball down the field well, and of course the turnover hurts. But
the sweep right. Brigham Young is playing it out really well and turns Herschel inside to 4 or 5 Brigham Young players. Somebody put an awesome hit on him. You don't see Herschel fumbling too much, and when he does, it's usually on an outstanding hit, as you just saw.
Just across the 40-yard line for Brigham Young. 7-7 game, just over 3 minutes left in the first half. Young. Pass is complete at the 50 and the 45 and the 40 to Gordon Hudson. Sanchez making the stop. Ronnie Harris also in on the play. Brigham Young has passed its way down into Georgia territory at the 39.
Young very patient here until Hudson gets in the clear. He's just he's a heck.
Yeah, he's just almost 6'4", Buck, 230 pounds, 4 catches, 60 yards for Hudson. First and 10, BYU at the Georgia 39-yard line. Whoa, Jimmy Payne in quickly. Or was that number 97 for Georgia, Landy Ewings? It was Ewings, number 97, not 87 Payne. There are markers all over the field. Let's see what the call is. Illegal procedure, Georgia.
BYU's fine tight end Hudson now has 4 receptions for 60 yards.
Georgia penalized 5 yards. It'll be first and 5 right around the 35-yard line. Let's take a look at it. Brigham Young just as still as it could be. Now we go to the live action. It is first and 5. Young looking, still got plenty of time. Now he's going to be hit by Crow. Tim Crow, number 91 for Georgia, comes in hard. And that's the first sack of the day.
First sack of the day. Young again had time to throw. He was looking for a secondary receiver. Crow came through and made a big play.
That sets Brigham Young back to the 45-yard line, second down and about 17 yards to go. Tim Crow coming in hard. He's had a good career at Georgia. He's a senior this year, 6'1", 235 from Stone Mountain. Second and 17, and Brigham Young. And they give it off to the back, and he's down to about the 36-yard line. That's number 29, Scott Pettis. Forts making the stop on Pettis.
Pettis came to BYU as a walk-on in 1979 and became a starter at tailback last year, and of course started this season off as a starter and was injured at University of Nevada, Las Vegas game.
Got a man hurt. Number 42 is Will Forts, who was injured on the play. You see him to the far right of your screen. As he comes off the field, the linebacker, Will Forts. Here in the first half, Georgia 7, Brigham Young 7. The Cougars at the Georgia 26 with a first and 10. Young swings it out to Tiamalu. He's at the 25, the 20. Knocked down at the 20 as they get into field goal range. 12 seconds left on the clock.
BYU takes the time.
The Cougars stopping the clock. Tiamalu picking up 5 yards on the play. And if it continues to rain like this, you would think, Buck, that Brigham Young's passing attack would start to hurt.
Well, of course, their receivers know the plays. They know where they're going, but the DBs don't. And that could play a big part in it, too. You see a lot of big plays on secondary men slipping in the rain.
There you see 42, Will Forts is back into the game, apparently not hurt too badly on that play a few moments ago. Second down and 5 yards to go. (7-7) Georgia, Brigham Young. 11 seconds in the rain. 11 seconds left to the end of the first half. Some of the Brigham Young supporters there with the blue and the white.
So it looks like they're going to attempt one more play. They got a timeout left. Probably go somewhere in the end zone looking for a touchdown.
You're looking at Steve Young. Young looks deep, and it's incomplete in the end zone, intended for Baumholm. Sanchez defending on the play for Georgia.
Young threw a perfect pass there. If his receiver wasn't going to get it, nobody was, and that's what you want to do in that type situation.
Kurt Gunther into the ball game to attempt a field goal. Line of scrimmage will be the 21-yard line. He is marking the tee back at the 28-yard line. So we're looking at a 38-yard attempt. A 38-yard attempt by Gunther. 6 seconds left on the board. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Time runs out in the first half, and Gunther's just missed a 38-yard field goal attempt. The score at halftime in Athens, Georgia, Brigham Young 7 and Georgia 7. In Athens, Brigham Young 7, Georgia 7. Butch Clifton, the air attack we thought would come did from Brigham Young, didn't it?
Well, Brigham Young had a balanced attack. They had about 240 yards total offense in the first half. Georgia had no yards passing, 141 yards rushing, but Brigham Young's offensive line was really good. They did not let Georgia penetrate. Georgia only had 1 sack.
Okay, Buck Ballou, at halftime, what did Coach Dooley say to the team, do you think?
Well, they just got to keep confidence in what they're doing, their game plan. I'm sure both teams will do that. Come out, and Brigham Young's going to put it in the air, and Georgia's going to try to control the ball on the ground.
What do you think about the weather? It's pretty wet on the field now.
Well, it is. It's been raining. The players have to adjust. We've had a lot of turnovers. I guess it might have had something to do with it.
All right, we will be back with the start of the second half right after this.
Well, the score is 7-7 at halftime. Here are the
14 minutes, 54 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Brigham Young 7, Georgia 7. Steve Young back to pass, and it is complete and out of bounds at the 44. They're calling it a complete pass to Gordon Hudson. And it's amazing how much passing Brigham Young has done.
Well, he continues to be impressive. That's his 7th catch for 75 yards in the football game, and he's got good size at 6'4", 228 pounds, and that was set up by the play fake. Young took his time, his little drag route across the middle, and a good throw and a good catch.
Hudson has caught every pass that you can imagine of tight end. He's, like you said, on the drag that time. He's been to the post corner. Their versatility in the passing game is really unreal.
Second down, and they give it to Tiamalu, and he's got the first down with plenty to spare, up to about the 48-yard line.
Tiamalu, the ball carrier. That's another Brigham Young first down.
Another Brigham Young first down.
6 yards.
Now they mark the ball at the 48-yard line of Brigham Young. 7-7, Georgia and BYU. Brigham Young won its first game 27-0 over the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Georgia 13-7 winners over Clemson on Monday night. 1st and 10. Young looking deep, and Ronnie Harris has position on his man, and the ball falls incomplete.
Bill, they had everybody in the pass route that time. No backs in the backfield, everybody out for the pass, and went deep.
It was a deep pass to Pendleton. Ronnie Harris defending well for the Dogs, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Second and 10. Long count by Young. The drop incomplete, intended for Hudson. He didn't have much of a chance at that, but he has caught every ball thrown in his way.
Well, Tommy Thurston, the linebacker number 60 for Georgia, really applied good pressure, got to Young, and forced him to throw it probably a little sooner than he had wanted to.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Young is 15 out of 28 for 187 yards, but remember, he has 5 interceptions. passing.
Oh, Payne, outstanding. He shows outstanding talent there, getting around and getting into the pocket, making a little contact with Young, disrupting his throwing motion.
Mike Mees, the punter for BYU, averaged 45.5 yards per punt last week, with his long one being 59 yards, and he has a good hang time, which is important, isn't it, Bill?
It is, as someone once said.
Well,
Jimmy,
he ought to be fresh today.
Jimmy Harrell back deep to receive for Georgia. And Harrell takes it at the 13-yard line. Harrell back up to the 19.
Buck Ballou made a good point. He ought to be fresh because that's their first punt of the ball game, Bill.
Harrell brought it back up to the 19-yard line in Georgia. 1st and 10 at that point. 7-7. The Dogs and the Cougars. For Georgia to have 5 interceptions and only 7 points out of that does not look very good at this point. And they give it to Williams, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Marv Allen leading the way. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 after about a yard gain on the play. John Lastinger, number 12, directing the attack. He is 0 for 4 in the passing department. He's got Walker at the tailback. They give to the fullback. Williams picks up another couple of yards, maybe 3. All Pugh made the stop. Call it 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. You look into the Georgia huddle. Williams is number 30, the fullback. Just behind him is Walker, the tailback. They've got Chuck Jones, number 1, down at the bottom of your screen. Lastinger looking to complete his first pass of the day, and it's incomplete. Lastinger's pass falls incomplete, and Georgia will punt. Broadway into punt it away. Back deep is Greg Peterson, number 19 for Brigham Young. He's standing right at midfield. Now he backs up to the 40 as you watch Broadway.
Made a little change on us, Bill. I think that's John Young, number 30, a defensive back to receive.
Peterson looking for some room. Peterson in trouble at the 30 and knocked down. Peterson brought down right around the 30-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. They'll move it up to the 31-yard line. And Georgia just swarming over Peterson, covering the punt of Broadway. Good punt coverage.
That's one thing that Georgia does exceptionally well, is cover on punts. They work real hard in practice on it.
Some at this point. Young back to pass, swings it out here. Tiamalo, and he's got running room, and he's out of bounds at the 40. Knocked out of bounds, Ronnie Harris, 27, coming up off the foul as Tiamalo is knocked out of bounds. Now they'll mark it at the Georgia 38-yard line.
He's got great credentials, as we mentioned. He's small at 5'9", 200 pounds, hard to bring down, but he was a junior college All-American. He was the captain and most valuable player as a running back at Grossmont Junior College last year. Did not start the first game.
Steve Young has now passed for 243 yards. First and 10 at the 38.
Quick trap.
That's Scott Pettis, the ball carrier. Picks up 5 or 6 yards.
Brigham Young mixing up the plays very well now, mixing in the pass run, and it's got the Georgia defense guessing.
2nd down and about 5 yards to go for Brigham Young. They're at the Georgia 33, and it's a 7-7 deadlock.
Number 29 Pettis, a very balanced attack last year. He rushed for 499 yards, and he had 490 yards in receptions.
Second down, and Young back to pass. He's been rushed and hit by Hogue. Let's see if they call it an incomplete or a fumble. They say an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass as Terry Hogue was coming on the blitz.
No, I think it was a fumble. The clock never stopped. There was never a breakdown. Just watch it come off here.
Terry Hogue on the blitz.
Hogue made it. It was not a pass. And Carver had a chance for the recovery, and it slipped out of his grasp. 56 got it back.
You're right.
Lord Eldridge.
You're right. Eldridge recovering for Brigham Young. It'll bring up third down. 8 yards to go. Third down and 8 as Young brings his team up. Big play for Brigham Young. Young, roll out. Gonna keep it himself and out of bounds at the 32.
Good play by Tommy Thurston.
Yeah.
That's a courageous story. A youngster playing with a bad back like he's got. He was advised in the offseason not to play at all. He's worked hard. He does a lot of stretching exercises in preparation for the game. And there he showed his speed for a big guy, Buck, running down Steve Young with 4.5 speed.
They had Hudson covered, as you see.
Georgia had good coverage in the secondary, and Young decided to try to pick up a few yards on his own.
Buck, we talked a moment ago about how many plays are brought into the Georgia quarterback. 100% you said, right?
100%.
All right, what can you call at the line of scrimmage? That's your choice. You can audible off.
Well, I'm not sure what they're doing this year, but in the past, audible has been very limited, very limited. They want you to go with the play that's sent in, and George Hafner, the offensive coordinator, is up in the press box and has a good view from here, as we can see, and they want you to go with the play that's brought in.
Well, plus, you know, the coaches have spent a lot of time scouting the opposition. They have tendencies on probably what defense they're going to be in, and they probably feel very comfortable with the play they send in. Sometimes, you know, it's a guessing game anyway. If you run into the slant, you look bad. If you run away from the slant, you look great. As Coach Dooley on the sideline, he's pondering the situation.
Got his rain gear on. It will be fourth. And 4 yards to go, and Brigham Young will go for it.
Georgia crowds up, urging the defense.
Here we go, 4th and 4. And it's complete to Hudson, and he's got the first down and brought down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, he's quite a performer.
Took a heck of a lick from Sanchez.
Maintained his balance and went on down the field.
4th down, they're going with a sprint out run pass option for Young. This is a good play on 4th down. Takes a lick from Sanchez, and she's an outstanding player. No question about it.
Jones said enough of that. I'm just going to go ahead and body block him down.
Yeah, Hudson is almost 6'4", 230 pounds. He's caught 9 passes for 127 yards. 1st and 10, Brigham Young at the Georgia 21. Young looking across the middle, deep, got a man open, touchdown. Scott Colley complete to number 3, Scott Colley, and Brigham Young goes on top.
In that man-to-man coverage with Flack, I think we can see it here. It's a straight drop back. He's got good time, runs to his right, sets up and throws, and there's no help back over the middle.
Well, he was looking to the strong side and had time to look on the backside and pick up his receiver in the end zone. Pettis. Coley, but gosh, Young's an outstanding. He can go either way, and he just showed the talent there.
Gunther to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 4 minutes, 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Brigham Young, 14, Georgia 7. Let's watch it again.
See him looking to the strong side here, looking all the way. Comes out of the pocket and looks back and throws. Takes a heck of a lick and just got the pass off.
Bobo nailed him just after he threw the football. Pass is complete for the touchdown. 14-7, Brigham Young leading Georgia. All right, Johnson ready to kick it away. And it'll go to Jones, and he'll let it go. In and out of the end zone, and Georgia takes over. 1st and 10 at the 20. A good kickoff by Johnson.
He's quite a talent. He's left-footed, and he was a walk-on, and on the JVs last year, he averaged 54.5 yards a punt. And they knew he had a strong leg, so now he's the kickoff man and does not punt. Mees is the punter.
All right, Georgia working now from the 20. Lastinger is the quarterback. His counterpart, Young, is 20 out of 39, 277 yards, a touchdown, and 5 interceptions. Now the pitch to Walker. Herschel's going to get maybe a yard, maybe 2. Leon White leading the tacklers for Brigham Young. Walker now has 68 yards on 18 carries.
We've been talking a lot about the BYU offense, but their defense has really played exceptionally well, particularly here in the second half, just shutting down the Georgia offense.
Well, that's what Coach Dooley said that he had seen in the game against University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Of course, they shut those people out. Here's the pitch to Walker. Going to be short of the first down. Lastinger's
First completion of the day. And it's to Herschel Walker. And a marker on the play against Brigham Young. The penalty will give Georgia its first down of the second half. First down, Georgia. The penalty, face mask call after the completion to Walker gives Georgia the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 33, and it may have stopped raining, or is just barely raining now, if at all. But it poured early in the 3rd quarter. Lastinger has gone all the way. Sprint out pass. John's going to keep across the 35 to the 36, maybe the 37. Give Lastinger a pickup 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7. Barry Oates making the stop for Brigham Young. 2nd and 7 for Georgia. They trail by a touchdown late now in the 3rd quarter. They give to Walker. Herschel Walker out of bounds right around the yard marker. They're going to say he went out of bounds a yard short of the first down. 76 yards now for Herschel.
Seems to be having a little trouble turning up going north and south, doesn't he, Buck?
Well, they came with a sprint draw, and the strong safety was on the press, and he just got inside of him, and only way to go was outside and used his outstanding speed.
Buck, you think it hurts that he cannot carry that ball in the right arm?
Well, also, I think a big part of it is no stiff arm, and Herschel's used the stiff arm to maximum advantage on his part. Unable to use it in this game.
Lastinger picks up the first down before he's hit and knocked back. Lastinger made it up to the 44-yard line before Tom Olmo came in and made the stop, but he got the first down, and Georgia's driving with the football. 2 minutes, 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. First and 10 at the 44. Lastinger's pass is overthrown. Marker on the play, dropped just as the ball was released. Pass intended for Kevin Harris, number 20.
It's against Georgia.
Holding going to be charged against the Dogs. And they talked it over with Morgan of Brigham Young. Penalty against the Bulldogs.
Quite a comeback story for Mike Morgan at 6'4", 260 pounds that the officials were talking to. This summer, while he was working in a mine, he fell through a roof and landed on his head and shoulders, was in serious condition and not expected to play. But here he is back. Good attitude, a lot of dedication.
Well, after all that, BYU declined the penalty, and it is 2nd down and 10 at the 44. Walker in motion. They're going to send Herschel deep. Lastinger decides to carry the football. He is close to the 1st down. Marv Allen making the stop, but Lastinger came up and bucked. We saw in that play. Herschel Walker went deep.
Yes, he did, and they had first time today they've had 3 receivers in the ball game. Sent Walker in motion and spreading things out a little bit. John wasn't able to get the throw down deep and had some room out the middle and took it.
He was short, however, of the 1st down, and it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard. John Lastinger. Walker, 1st down.
That's automatic, Bill.
Yeah.
You've seen that play before, haven't you?
Many, many times before. 3rd and short. Brigham Young definitely knows who's going to get the ball, but even with that, the man's hard to stop.
Well, Buck having quarterback for the first 2 years of Herschel Walker here at Georgia, does he do any talking in the huddle? Does he want the football more than someone else might?
I think Herschel's mostly catching his breath in the huddle. I tell you, he carries the ball so much, he's got to catch his breath. He doesn't have too much to say in the huddle.
1st and 10. Walker finally knocked out of bounds about the 43-yard line of Brigham Young, maybe 2 yards on the play. Holmoe making the stop on Herschel.
Had a little misdirection and came back with a sweep to the left.
BYU's doing an exceptional job on defense, stringing it out. There's just no hole, nowhere to go.
Tron Jackson into the ball game now for Georgia at tailback. Barry Young still running at fullback. 2nd down and 8. Lastinger looking, and it is complete at the 30. That's complete for Chuck Jones at the 30-yard line.
The Valdosta to Georgia connection.
They're going to give him up to the 29-yard line. Let's watch it on the isolation. He made a good catch, Buck.
He did, ran a good route, got in behind the linebackers and came back for the ball. John put it right there. BYU had good coverage, but coverage against a perfect play, and that's what Georgia had.
That's the first completion to a wide receiver of the day. They gave it to Scott Williams, and he crosses the 25.
Georgia's now put together a real good, consistent drive. They started this back on the 9-yard line and have moved it out as they came.
Ryan Hansen making the stop on Scott Williams as he comes out of the ball game. 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
2nd down, 6.
And the pitch to Tron Jackson. He's knocked down at the 25. Leon White, number 41, came in there heavy. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. That's it for the 3rd quarter. Brigham Young leading Georgia 14-7 as the clock runs out in the 3rd quarter. They were driving, and Herschel was stripped of the football. Kevin Walker, number 14, alertly falls on it. Brigham Young has it, and the lead 14-7 with 14:54 left. 3rd turnover for Georgia. Georgia came into the game a touchdown favorite. Steve Young swings it out here, complete at the 15-yard line, and he's got some room. That's again complete to Gordon Hudson. 130 yards and 10 receptions for number 95, Gordon Hudson.
That was a good defensive read by Nate Taylor as he read the screen, maintained position, and came up quick, made a one-on-one tackle.
It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go as that play complete for 3 yards. And Young does not like the looks of the Georgia defense. Going to call a timeout to stop the clock. 14-12 left in the game. And talk it over with Coach Lavelle Edwards. Buck, is there much talk on the Georgia sidelines at points like this when they're behind and obviously a little bit worried about what's happening?
Well, every series in the fourth quarter is crucial in this type game. And, you just got to take advantage of every opportunity you have. Brigham Young's limited their mistakes here in the second half and hadn't given Georgia many opportunities to step in and tie this thing up.
Yeah, you see Coach Edwards talking to Young. He and Ben Stooley have both been head coaches at one school only, and of course he's got an overall record of 87, 32, and 1. Super percentage. Really done an outstanding job of developing the quarterbacks and the passing game at Brigham Young.
All right, that's Steve Young. He is 21 out of 40 for 279 yards. Georgia's picked off 5 of his passes. Second down, 7 yards to go. And he gives it off to his running back, Casey Tiamalu. And he picks up about 3 yards on the play. Third down and a long 3. Colley is into the huddle for Brigham Young as they shuffle in the plays from the bench. Third down and 3. Brigham Young winning this football game by a touchdown. Young. And it's incomplete, intended for Hudson and over his head. Good pressure.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, good pressure by Dale Carver, number 96. And it's going to force a punt. They'll send sure-handed Jimmy Harrell back to receive for Georgia. Mike Mees is the punter for Brigham Young. Buck, that means a lot to have somebody like Harrell who can catch the football.
Well, they're really confident with Jimmy back returning punts. He's going to catch the ball. He's got great hands. And that's what you want. You want somebody sure-handed, particularly in this type of situation here with him standing back on his own 25.
And the rain pouring down again heavy. Here's the punt by Mees. Harrell takes it at the 32-yard line. Jimmy Harrell at the 40. Ooh. And down at the 40-yard line. Georgia will have it 1st and 10 right at the 40-yard line. Quarterback. He's got Scott Williams at fullback, Herschel Walker at tailback. Walker has carried for 80 yards, and he breaks through. Herschel Walker close to the first down. Walker picks up 10 yards before he's stopped by Brian Hansen. First down, Georgia. Walker going for the first down. Boy, that noise, Buck Ballou.
These Georgia people are excited. Hadn't had a lot to cheer about here in the second half, but they're really behind the offense now.
1st and 10, Georgia. The pitch to Walker. Walker 4 yards. Walker 4 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 6. Holmoe made the stop.
Herschel Walker now with 22 carries for 90 yards.
90 tough yards.
Very tough.
2nd down. Georgia at the 23-yard line of Brigham Young. 7 yards to go. They give to Walker. Walker fights down close to the 16 or 17-yard line. Brandon Flint making the stop on Herschel Walker. Barry Young brings the play in. Chuck Jones out. John Lastinger now making the call.
Crucial play.
3rd down and 2. Georgia running with 2 fullbacks in that backfield. with Walker the tailback. Now they put Williams in motion and pitch it to Walker. Walker may be short. He may have gotten it on his forward motion before he was knocked back. Buck, I think they're going to be short. It was a crucial 3rd down and 2 situation.
It really was. Herschel looked like he was going to pick up the 1st down, but BYU reacted well on defense and came in. And
I'm impressed with the defense. We watch them come up here. They come up hard.
Stacking it up real well. They're going to be short.
All right, there you see it. Less than a yard, I'd say about maybe 10 inches, maybe less than that.
Who do you think?
Who do I think?
Who do you think is going to have the ball here? No question about it.
Might be Herschel. Or Lastinger on a quarterback sneak. 4th and less than a yard. 7 minutes and 3 seconds left in this football game. Fumble on the play. Let's see. Let's see. If Georgia recovered, it could be a 1st down. If Brigham Young recovered, then it's the Cougars football. As they unpile, we look. They'll find someone on the bottom. Number 63 says it's Georgia's football.
Did he get enough?
That's Jumbo Weaver. Jumbo Weaver recovers the fumble. Georgia's got a 1st down. You remember Eddie Meat Cleaver Weaver. It'll be close. Jumbo Weaver is Meat Cleaver Weaver's little brother. Except he's not too little. 1st down, Georgia. Boy, what a break.
That is what you call very fortunate.
Mike Weaver recovered the fumble, and Georgia has a 1st down at the 15-yard line. They give. They fake, and Lastinger's got the football out of bounds at the 7. Take a look at it. Great fake, Buck.
Great fake up the middle. BYU took it. And Lastinger gets around the corner, picks up some crucial yardage down by the goal line. Morrell comes up and makes a good tackle.
He picked up 9 yards on the play. 2nd down and 1 at the 7-yard line. Bill Lewis, the defensive coordinator, tried to call timeout before that play, but he didn't. And they give it to Walker, and he's got the 1st down inside the 5. 1st down and goal to go. 99 yards now for Herschel Walker, 26 carries. And they'll set it back just inside the 5-yard line. Again, Georgia working with 2 fullbacks in the game. Walker at tailback. John Lastinger to the 1. Lastinger to the 1.
Just a straight option play, backing the fullback and coming out on the corner. John's reading the defensive end and the cornerback, and cuts up inside. Takes a good lick.
That's Leon White again, number 41, Buck. He's really played a whale of a game for a freshman.
2nd down at the 1-yard line. 5 minutes, 46 seconds are left on the clock. Brigham Young leading Georgia 14-7. 2nd down at the 1. They give to Walker.
Flies, touchdown.
Slam dunk time.
Goes up and over 1 yard for the touchdown. That gives him an even 100 yards for the afternoon.
Here John does a good job of driving the ball back deep and giving him an opportunity to get up and use that great leaping ability. Just up it.
I want to see it from another angle. All right, from the end zone. Look at the Weaver, good blocking. And Herschel goes up. And in the meantime, Kevin Butler has just kicked the extra point to tie the game. 14-14 with 5 minutes, 36 seconds left. Lastinger swings it out to Walker over his head.
He probably read the defensive back and threw it away, really.
It's probably a smart play. Todd Shell was in great position to make the play.
And Lastinger, you're right, read it. Threw it over Walker's head, incomplete. Second down, 10 yards to go. Starting to rain heavily again.
That's a good look at the Georgia sideline with Coach Dooley and Cabin and Whittemore, the offensive thrust.
2nd and 10. Georgia's at their own 33. Lastinger looking over the middle, and it is incomplete. Clarence Kay hit by Kyle Morrill, and it drops incomplete. He got a hand on it.
As you can see, he had to get it over the linebacker's head, and that's why he had to throw it high. Kay almost came up with a good catch, but BYU secondary has been playing well all day. Came up, made a good stick.
3 minutes, 51 seconds, 14-14. Lastinger now 3 completions for 33 yards. 3rd down, 10. Lastinger. Pass is complete. First down. That's complete to number 20, Kevin Harris. Sophomore split in. He was hit hard by Kevin Walker, but he got the first down, and Georgia on a big 3rd down play.
2 more first downs and you're in Kevin Butler's range.
1st and 10, Georgia at its own 44.
John really stepped up and drilled that pass. He had to drill it.
Pitch out to Walker.
Unbelievable. Incredible play. What strength.
Unbelievable.
Herschel Walker has taken it deep into BYU territory. He now has 122 yards. Buck, I'm sure as a quarterback you love to see this.
Oh, you stand in awe. Look at this guy run the football. Just carries people. His strength is just amazing. Carrying 3-4 people, running through tackles.
And amazingly, he is not a big weightlifter, is he?
I've never seen him in the weight room, but he was just born with it. Natural talent.
Walker picks up close to 3 yards on that first down play. He was stopped by Brian Hansen. Walker coming off the field, 2nd down and 8 yards as they give him a 2-yard pickup on the play. 2nd and 8, 2 minutes, 34 seconds as the clock ticks away. They give it to the fullback, Scott Williams. Williams for maybe 3 yards. Another 3rd down play coming up. It'll be 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Georgia at the 28-yard line. 2:07, 2:06. 14-14 tie. It is 3rd down. Lastinger brings them up. The pitch to Tron Jackson. Trying to turn the corner. He's going to be caught at the 26. And Georgia will be facing a 4th and about 4 yards to go. Peterson making the stop. Peterson, number 19, is 5'10", 170 pounds, and he made the stop there on Tron Jackson. It brings up a 4th and about 4 yards to go. Kevin Butler is in to attempt the field goal.
44.
It'll be a 44-yard field goal. Jim Broadway holding 1 minute 16 seconds left on the clock. The kick is up.
It's there.
And the kick is good.
What a pressure kick, too.
This is the guy you won't kick it in this situation. He's only a sophomore, but he had an outstanding freshman year. And he's picking up where he left off. Probably the biggest kick in his career, no doubt.
Kevin Butler has just put Georgia on top of Brigham Young 17-14 with 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the game. Here at Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. The Dogs on top of Brigham Young 17-14. That scoring drive, 9 plays, 40 yards, a big run by Herschel Walker in there, and then the 44-yard field goal by Kevin Butler. And Butler will tee it up on the kickoff. There you see the situation. Seconds left in this football game. Georgia leading Brigham Young 17-14. Kevin Butler has just kicked the field goal to put the Bulldogs out front. Now Butler, number 5, set to kick off, and he booms this one into the end zone and out. Brigham Young will have the football, 1st and 10, 80 yards away from pay dirt, with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. Key players to watch for Brigham Young. Of course, number 8, Steve Young, the quarterback. But the other man is number 95, Gordon Hudson, who's had a big day.
He's had a career today.
He has had a career. Tiamalu is number 20, another man to watch for out of the backfield. Young looking, pressured, throws, and it is complete at the 40-yard line. That is complete to Scott Colley at the 40-yard line and out of bounds with 1 minute, 2 seconds left on the clock.
And remember, Brigham Young has no timeouts left.
That pass covered 20 yards as Young connected to Colley. We look at it again.
Perfect pass, pinpoint. Colley's had a couple of big receptions for him today.
No timeouts left for Brigham Young as the clock starts again. 56 seconds. Young looking. Looks over in the flat, and it's almost intercepted by Holt. Terry Holt, number 14, got a hand on it.
That's a long throw again, Buck.
That's a dangerous pass, second time. It's a long throw from the right hash, and the defensive back has too much time to react.
Young is now 22 out of 45 for 302 yards. 50 seconds left on the clock. BYU has no more timeouts. Georgia has a 3-point lead. The Bulldogs went into the game about a touchdown favorite, ranked 6th in the nation. Brigham Young ranked 19th. Young, marker on the play as Young looks deep, and Ronnie Harris may have intercepted the football.
Penalty flag down.
Penalty marker on the play as Ronnie Harris comes up with the football.
It was procedure against BYU.
6 interceptions for Georgia. The penalty apparently against Brigham Young. Look at it.
A lot of time to throw. Going for the big one. Harris just comes up and makes a good play. There's been a lot of outstanding plays in here today.
I tell you, though, Brigham Young has really impressed me. What a great group of players they've got. They'll have a successful season.
Take another look at Ronnie Harris with the 6th interception by Georgia today.
He's back in good position. Just goes up and makes another outstanding play.
John Lastinger at quarterback for Georgia with 43 seconds left. Remember, Brigham Young cannot stop the clock. No more timeouts for the Cougars. Clock ticks away 35, 34, 33. Georgia leading Brigham Young 17-14. Young apparently finishing the day with 21 out of 46 for 302 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions. Georgia has the football with 17 seconds left.
Bill, looks like it came down to the kicking game as in all important games, and Kevin Butler came through in a pressure situation where he had to get the job done and drilled it. It was like a beautiful field goal, and that was the difference.
There it is. They stopped the clock. The clock had stopped with 2 seconds left. But the officials are headed out. There you see Vince Dooley and Lavelle Edwards meeting at midfield. Georgia has just beaten Brigham Young 17-14. We will be back with more from Sanford Stadium right after this. Has just beaten Brigham Young in a thriller 17-14 here in Athens, Georgia. Butch Clifton, Herschel Walker, a pretty good day considering he still has that broken thumb.
Well, he had a great day. He came back with 124 yards, and he had a critical run. 2nd down and 10, he went 24 yards to set up Kevin Butler's field goal, the winning field goal. And, of course, that's always good. And then the defensive backfield intercepted 6 of Steve Young's passes. A great day for defense.
Buck Bellew, who has been a quarterback for the Dogs the last few years and now with us, what were your impressions?
Well, it was a great game. Out of all the offense, out of all the defense, it boiled down to the kicking game, as usually all close games do. And Georgia had the edge. Broadway, time after time again, took Georgia out of bad position with a 41-yard average punting. And when it came down to it, Kevin Butler, the sophomore from Stone Mountain, came through with the flying colors. The pressure was on him, and he drilled a 44-yarder to win the game. All
right, Buck Bellew and Butch Clifton. Now, today's game has been brought to you in part by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Hertz Buy a Car. More people buy cars from Hertz than from anyone else in the world. And by Levi Garrett Chewing Tobacco. And by Life of Georgia Insurance. Again, the final score from Sanford Stadium. Georgia 17, Brigham Young 14 for Buck Bellew and Butch Clifton. This is Bill Hartman. So long until next time.